Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. So excited we're here for Pageant Sunday. And what that means is we get to start the service by rehearsing the music for the pageant. Very exciting, I know, because in this pageant, yes, we're going to have friendly beasts and shepherds and angels and Mary and Joe and some wise ones and all this stuff. But also you are a participant in the pageant the whole time. So we're going to rehearse a few songs. There's going to be songs like Silent Night in a Little Town of Bethlehem, which even if you weren't raised Christian, are in the zeitgeist, and you'll be fine. You'll probably figure those out as they go. But there's a few that are written specifically for this pageant by Joyce Poley, who's a fabulous Unitarian Universalist singer-songwriter. She wrote, "When Our Heart is in a Holy Place" in the hymnal, and every song in the pageant also sounds like that song. It's great. So this first one is called Room in the Stable, and we're going to sing the chorus together, and it goes like this. Oh, come in, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your whole family. Oh, come on in. There is room in the stable for everyone. Some of you already know this pretty well. That's good. Let's try it together. And oh, come in. Bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your whole family. Oh, come on in. There is room in the stable for everyone. And there's like 19 verses to that song. So it's going to have a lot of choruses. The next one is called Would We Have Eyes to See? And the chorus goes like this. It goes, Alleluia, Alleluia. If we walked the hills the shepherds walked, would we have eyes to see? Would we have eyes to see? Try the whole thing. Hallelujah, hallelujah. If we walked the hills the shepherds walked, would we have eyes to see? Would we have eyes to see? And the last one we're going to rehearse is, the name of the pageant is Would You Like to Hold the Baby? And it's the sweetest song in the pageant. And Laura Beth Brown is going to sing the first verse, and then Laura Beth and Vivian are going to sing the first chorus, just the two of them. And then Vivian's going to sing a verse, and then we're all going to sing the chorus the second time. And it sounds like this. Would you like to hold the baby? Would you like to see him smile? Can you make your arms a cradle and rock him for a while? This gift that I've been given is yours as much as mine. Would you like to hold the baby? Take your time. Take your time. So it's that and like a bunch of carols, and you'll just be full-throatedly singing the entire time. Very, very, very exciting. The pageant isn't going to happen in like half an hour, so you have a good memory between then and now.
Well, welcome. Welcome. Good morning. It is Pageant Sunday here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. I'm Reverend Taryn Strauss, senior minister here. So glad you chose the baby Jesus over some soccer this morning. If you did, we're so glad you're here with us. In this congregation where we are transforming lives through courageous action and soulful connection, no small thing. Every day, every Sunday, for sure, and you are a part of that now. So welcome. Whether you may be feeling like our travelers who are following a star. I'm always feeling maybe in a religious place like an outsider looking in. Well, we want you to feel especially welcome at this inn, this stable for the wanderer. Welcome for this shelter for the human soul, where we are not known necessarily by our dogma or our creed, but through our acts of love, acts of justice and ethics. As Unitarian Universalists, we are certainly in one of our busiest seasons right now. Many of us celebrate Advent with gusto and tradition. Others of us celebrate Kwanzaa and ancestral connection. Some of us find deep meaning in the rituals of Yule and the winter solstice, while many of us kindle the Hanukkah lights each year, and still others honor the special annual celebration of Jesus' birth. It is the most wonderful time of the year, and it is also the most time of the year. So if you are finding meaning in all of these communal traditions, or you have found another way that I did not just name to make meaning of this season, you are so welcome here with us. If you are queer, if you are transgender, young, old, if you are immigrant, if you are spiritual but not religious, atheist or Jew, you are welcome to join us as we make meaning of the ancient story of Christmas, as our children and our family all of our families perform that story in these times, on this day. We hope you will also join us later today at a computer near you at home for a virtual congregational meeting. Well, the congregation will gather to vote on next year's congregational budget. That meeting will happen at 2 p.m. today on Zoom. We also hope that you will join us right here on Christmas Eve, next Saturday night, the 24th of December, at 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. And we want you to know also, we are holding a Christmas Day social hour on December 25th from 11 to 12:30, so about the time of the service. You can come in and come get some hot coffee, tea, donuts, and fellowship in our social hall. We'll have some Christmas music playing down there and just be warmed by the pleasure of each other's company and to bring each other those holiday vibes. So please join us for some social time on Christmas Day if you are free. It is wonderful to be joined together leading worship by our Director of Religious Education, Laura Beth Brown, our Music Director, Donald Milton III, our accompanist, Willie Sullivan, lead liturgist, Tony Stringer, and today's liturgist, Ellen Beatty. So we've got a big crew and a much bigger crew than that leading worship. We will see their names at the end. And this morning, we will be lighting our chalice and really all the candles of the season up on the screen because there's a lot of movement and children going on in the chancel, and just for safety reasons, we're going to do it up here. So please join me now in saying our chalice lighting words together. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking. Invite all who yearn for acceptance and ignite our passion for justice and peace. And we will virtually light the fourth candle of Advent, the candle for faithfulness, as we honor and celebrate our own faithfulness, that even though the season may be shadowed, even though evil may persist in various ways, so too does life. Life always persists. And there is a way to think about Jesus and babies and new life in a way that is connected always to love and to tenderness, that it matters the way we hold the baby Jesus. It matters the way we hold every baby. And so we honor that today. And now for our time celebrating Kwanzaa. Dr. Tony Stringer.
Kwanzaa, a secular holiday originating in the African American community in 1966, is celebrated by an estimated 1/2 to 2 million people in the United States. That's more people than identify as being Unitarian. It may also surprise you to learn that our very own Unitarian Universalist Association provided some of the funding that was used to create and publicize the first celebrations of the holiday. Kwanzaa is a Swahili word meaning first fruits. The holiday celebrates the successes symbolized by fruit of the past year and reminds us of the enduring values that unite all people of African descent. Beginning December 26 and continuing for a full week, each day is devoted to a different value, symbolized by the lighting of a candle. Though the holiday does not begin for another week, we'll light each candle virtually this morning in celebration of Kwanzaa. I'll call out each of the 7 principles in Swahili, and you all will respond in unison with their definition that you'll see on the screen. So let us begin. Umoja. Kujichagulia. Ujima.
A candle reminding us of our responsibility for one another.
Ujama.
A candle to remind us of the ways we can create when our passions unite.
Nia.
A candle symbolizing strength of purpose and the courage of conviction.
Kuumba.
A candle for the creative spirit from which flows all life.
Imani. In closing, we will say a word meaning let's pull together. That word is harambe.
Harambe.
Pretty good. A little louder, a little more spirit. Harambe. All right. Happy Kwanzaa.
So this morning, I would like to invite our shepherds to come up here to lead us in this morning's movement prayer. That's Zachary and Erilyn and Hazel. So please rise, embody our spirit, and join us. First, we bow to honor the spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present, honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present. Amen. Blessed be. So as this is a multi-generational service, we are inviting our kindergarten through high school children and youth to remain in the service today. And as a reminder, please feel free to utilize the fidget and craft items in our Wonder Wall. We do have childcare available for our youngest children if they would like to recess at this time. And now, please take this opportunity to greet your neighbor.
Let us put our hands on our hearts. Feel the heartbeat, connection to life. Breathe in peace. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And that love can heal this world. We hold in our hearts everyone who is experiencing grief this time of year. Maybe you have lost a loved one recently or long ago, and this season is especially difficult. Perhaps you are struggling under the weight of depression, financial hardship, or other challenges. For many, this holiday season can be difficult to endure. If this year seems heavier or lonelier than usual, we send you our love and hold you in love's healing embrace. May you know we are here. May you know you are never alone. You are invited to say the names of someone you are holding tenderly in your heart this morning. Someone who can use some extra loving energy coming their way today. Please write their names into the live chat if you're at home, or speak their names out loud into this holy space now. And if that name was your own, I hope you spoke that into this space. May all beings find connection. May all people find comfort. May all of us find ways to be more loving. Spirit of life, love eternal, we rest in holy gratitude. We surrender to a mystery beyond ourselves, asking forgiveness for our mistakes, those times we have been selfish or thoughtless. Breathing in and out, we offer grace. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. We honor our earth that supports and sustains life. We breathe in, opening our hearts to wonder for just one moment, feeling deep connection with all beings. Now, let us calm our bodies and our minds. We breathe in peace, and we exhale. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the silence.
Morning. Good morning. So it's official. The holiday season is upon us. It's a very special time and also a very complicated one. It's a time of miracles and wonder, whether that's a lamp that burns on for 8 long nights with only a drop of oil, or the brightest star ever to be seen emerging on the darkest of winter nights. Or a jolly old elf who shimmies down a chimney and then sneaks off on a flying sleigh. Or maybe it's just spotting a flock of cedar waxwings in a tree on a December day. This season we open our hearts to awe. It's a time of embracing old traditions and tokens of our past, perhaps pulling out a tattered old index card with a recipe in your grandmother's handwriting and a bag of old cookie cutters to make your cookies, or finding that dreidel that your grandfather gave you as a child and pulling it out to play, or unpacking that box of stored ornaments and remembering what each one means to us. This season we remember and we reminisce. But it's also a time for embracing the new, scouring the best books of the year list to figure out which one we want to curl up and read. Making a date to see the new releases of the Oscar favorite films, or just going to pick out a brand new sweater for your loved one, or trying out that new holiday recipe. This is a time to explore. It's also a time of yearning and nostalgia and heartache. We long for those we once celebrated with and are no longer here with us. We yearn for the special times that actually never were, but we hoped would be. We wish we could feel the excitement that a child does on Christmas Day, but it doesn't seem to find us anymore. In this season, we feel the weight of the bleak winter on our souls. It's also a time of giving. We find special ways to treat a friend, and we dig deeper to give to our favorite charities. We spend hours crafting something very special for a loved one. In this season, we encounter abundance. This is a very, very special time of year, but it's also one that we honor and recreate year-round here at UUCA. Here we embrace wonder and experience moments of transcendence. Here we honor our traditions. We welcome newcomers and new ways of doing things and thinking. We support one another in our times of grief and yearning. And we give of ourselves to one another and to this community that makes us whole. At UUCA, we make every day a holy day. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
The sun is shining, the grass is green, the dogwoods and palm trees sway. There's never been such a day here in Atlanta,
But it's December the 24th, and I'm longing to be up north. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of
What does it really look like if an entire community gathers around just one birth? I mean, just one new life. What can happen? Who could that person become if everybody came from everywhere and just brought gifts and blessings and wonderment and support and love and diapers and healthcare, like the real things that babies need, not just to survive, but to go beyond survival and to become humanity's hope, love's greatest power. We'll never know what it really looks like, what the world could actually become, unless we perform it, unless we rehearse it, unless we act out that particular drama and make it live, make it real. Only then can we know what kind of humanity could really be possible if all hands were on deck for it, if everyone came together for it and proclaimed this life holy and exalted and glorified. So let's find out. But that's the reason we do it. That's why we perform. That's why we rehearse the world that we dream of, the kingdom of heaven right here on earth. That's why we rehearse it today and each and every Sunday. That is the work of radical love, of revolutionary love, that we rehearse each and every Sunday here. And you are a part of it. You bless it with your generosity that you bring to that precious dream, that rehearsal of the world as it could be. So blessings upon your gifts, blessings upon this community. Please join me now in the dedication of this morning's offering. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Bless.
Many Unitarian Universalists affirm the idea that the Christ baby symbolizes all babies. The Christmas story reminds us that each new life is a gift, and that we are all responsible for nurturing and protecting that gift. This is a wonderful image full of love, compassion, and a deep reverence for life. During our pageant, let the simplicity of the story speak to your own inner yearning. Christmas is the time for this. Who among us does not yearn for a star to light the way towards love and peace and goodwill? And who does not value the innocence and unconditional love of a newborn baby? In the spirit of wonder of this Christmas season, we ask, would you like to hold the baby?
Places, everybody.
Long ago, in a faraway land, a man named Joseph was traveling to Bethlehem with his wife, Mary. In those days, all the people in the land were ordered back to their place of birth so they could pay their taxes. And so it was that Joseph was walking to Bethlehem, his family's birthplace, while Mary rode beside him on their donkey. Mary was pregnant and must have been very uncomfortable riding so long on the donkey's back. She knew she could give birth at any time, maybe even before they arrived in Bethlehem. But she hadn't wanted to stay behind alone. She wanted to be with her husband when their first baby was born. So they made the long journey together. After several days, they reached their destination, and Joseph immediately began looking for a place to stay. Seeing an inn nearby, he stopped and left Mary outside while he went to see about lodgings for the night. "Do you have a place my wife and I could stay?" asked Joseph. "We've been traveling several days, and my wife is expecting a baby. She's very tired." Peering over Joseph's shoulder, the innkeeper could see that Mary was probably very close to giving birth. He suggested they stay in his private stable, away from all the noise and confusion of the other travelers who were already crowding the inn. Joseph happily accepted the kind man's offer and went to get Mary. Meanwhile, the innkeeper, his wife, and his young daughter went ahead of Mary and Joseph to try to make their little stable as presentable as possible. They began by moving all the animals out into the yard so there would be more room for their guests. Then they swept the floor and tidied up the manger area, leaving some fresh hay for the baby's bed. When all was ready, Mary and Joseph entered the clean little stable and made themselves as comfortable as they could. Mary was especially pleased to have this private space, for she sensed that her baby would be born that very night. Wishing them a comfortable stay, the innkeeper slipped out of the door, leaving his wife to help Mary with the birth. As Mary settled herself in for the night, the little stable girl asked if she could stay too, but her mother said, "This is not the time or place for a child. Now run along with your father." So the little girl left the stable and reluctantly followed her father home. As the evening wore on, it was clear that this would indeed be the night of the baby's birth. And sure enough, within a few hours, Mary, with the help of the innkeeper's wife, gave birth to a lovely baby boy.
It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth to all goodwill, from heaven news we bring. The world in solemn stillness lay, to hear the angels sing. Still clothed and skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music flows o'er all the weary world. Upon its sad and lonely plains, they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er its
Meanwhile, the animals, who had been moved out of the stable, stood very quietly outside, as if sensing that some kind of miracle was taking place. And indeed it was, for the birth of any new baby is the greatest of miracles. But this one seemed particularly special. The animals were curious, as well as a little restless. They wanted to see what was going on. They also wanted to go back to their own stalls where they were used to sleeping. Finally, one of the animals, the donkey, stepped up to the door and nudged it with his nose, trying to get it open. But the innkeeper's wife shouted at him, "Out, out, out, you dirty thing! You can't come in here. You're covered in mud and much too smelly to be around a new baby. That goes for the rest of you too," she said to all the other animals huddled aside. "There isn't room for you in here." But Mary wasn't the least bit bothered by the animals. "It's all right," she said softly. "Let them in. After all, we are in their house. Let them come in and see my beautiful baby." And so the doors were opened, and one by one, the animals came into the stable.
Long ago by a stable in Bethlehem town, all the animals huddled outside on the ground. They were watching and waiting, never making a sound, till the donkey stepped up to the stable.
Back and forth I have trudged, now I'm all tired out. You can bet I won't budge till you let me back into the stable.
Oh, come in, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your whole family. Oh, come on in, there is room in the stable for everyone.
The animals were no sooner settled in the stable when there appeared at the door a scruffy-looking group of very excited shepherds. Here it is, one of them shouted as he peered through the half-open doorway. Seeing Mary, she said, "Oh, good lady, please let us come in. We have heard of a special birth this night and have come to see the miracle for ourselves." "But how did you know?" Mary asked. "Who told you to come here?" Before the shepherds could answer, the innkeeper, who had seen the group approaching, rushed back to the stable and stepped in front of the door, barring their way. "Do not let these men in," he said to Joseph. "They are lowly shepherds who wander the countryside, having no real home. They are very poor and care for no one but themselves. Why, they might even rob you. They're not fit to come in." But Joseph said to the innkeeper, "Good man, I am a lowly carpenter and also poor, like them. They are no better or worse than I, and they certainly don't look dangerous to me. Please step aside and make them welcome." You could see the man was afraid, but he did as he was told and let the shepherds enter. One of the shepherds, who seemed eager to talk, said to Mary, "I can tell you how we came here. We were in the fields tending to our sheep when suddenly we saw a great light in the sky, and an angel appeared out of nowhere. We were terribly frightened, but the angel calmed us and said, 'Do not be afraid, for I bring good news for all people. Today, in the city of Bethlehem, a child is born who will bring great joy and peace to the world. And this shall be your sign. You will find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger.' So we decided to come to Bethlehem right away to see this great event for ourselves." Everyone was astonished at what the shepherds told them, oohing and awing at this strange story. But Mary sat quietly, pondering all these things in her heart.
entered the stable, another group appeared at the door. There were 3 of them, and it was obvious they were not from Bethlehem. They were riding on camels, and they wore long, elegant robes and strange hats. Almost like crowns on their heads. They must have come from some country in the east, for no one had in the area dressed this way. The shepherds eyed them suspiciously. "May we come in?" asked one of the 3, who seemed to be some kind of sage or priest. The shepherds seemed very uneasy, and before Joseph could answer, one of them said, "Kind sir, you must not let these people in. They are not Jews like us. They are foreigners. Who knows who they are, or where they come from? You see, by their clothing, they look very strange, and surely you know they cannot be trusted." But Joseph said, "It is true they look different from us, and perhaps they have different ways, but I see no harm in that. Please welcome them into our little stable." And so the 3 travelers stepped in, who were called Magi, or wise ones, stepped into the stable.
We 3 queens of Orient are, bearing gifts we travel so far. Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever ceasing, never over a soul to reign. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Frankincense to offer have I, incense owns a deity nigh. Prayer and praising, voices raising, worshiping God on high. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Myrrh is mine, it's a bitter perfume, breathes the light of impending doom. Sorrow, sighing, breathing, dying, sealed in a stone-cold tomb. Whoa, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light, guide us to thy perfect light.
"We shall leave you now," said one of the wise ones, "for we can see you are tired. We have found what we were seeking, and we thank you for accepting our gifts. We feel honored to have been here this night, for we know your son will grow up to become a great and wise leader." And with that, they turned and disappeared into the night. Sensing it was time for them to leave as well, the shepherds and the innkeeper's wife tiptoed out of the stable so as not to wake the sleeping babe. Even the animals drifted away to their own separate stalls. for they were tired and in need of a good sleep themselves. Mary and Joseph looked lovingly at their new baby. "What shall we name him?" Mary asked. "I think we might call him Jesus. What do you think?" Joseph nodded and smiled, agreeing it would be a fine name. "But now we should get some sleep," Joseph said. "You stay here. I'll go over to one of the other stalls where there is more room for me to make a bed." As he left, he gently touched Mary's shoulder, smiling at her and his newborn child. Mary was tired but unable to sleep. What is so special about this night, about this child, she wondered. We are poor people from humble families. What is it that makes my baby so special? And if he is so special, what is expected of me as his mother? Mary picked up her baby and gazed into his beautiful eyes as if looking for an answer there. As she pondered these questions, she heard a small creaking noise, the sound of the stable door quietly opening. Mary turned to see that the little stable girl had come back, eager for a glimpse of the new baby.
Mary rocked her babe, a little girl slipped quietly inside. She had come to see this baby. She had come to sweep the floor. She had come to see the face of a newborn child. Mary saw her watching from behind a cattle stall and beckoned her toward the manger bed. Eyes alight with wonder, she came to where he lay, and Mary smiled at her and softly said, "Would you like to hold the baby? Would you like to see him smile? Can you make your arms a cradle and rock him for a while? This gift that I've been given is yours as much as mine. Would you like to hold the baby? Take your time. Take your time."
As the girl embraced the baby, as Mary whispered low, "This child is more than we can never know, for his eyes reflect our goodness, his heart reveals our love, his gentle breath can touch our very soul. So wrap this precious baby in a blanket of your own, and love him so his spirit will be free. Hold him close in sorrow and hold him close in joy. Hold him close however life may be. Would you like to hold the baby? Would you like to see him smile? Can you make your arms a cradle and rock him for a while? This gift that I've been given is yours as much as mine. Would you like to hold
After sitting quietly together for several moments, Mary reached out to take the baby back. The little girl smiled, her face radiant with all the joy and love she was feeling inside. She knew she would never forget this night. Nor would Mary. And although she could not know where his life would eventually take him, she did know Jesus was very special and would one day be an important leader. But for now, Mary's path was clear. She would care for him and love him and share him, for in her heart she knew he was not hers alone to hold. Jesus did indeed grow up to become a very important leader to the world. He was a great teacher and an important spiritual leader. He was also a true friend to the poor and the powerless, believing that all people deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. And so each year we celebrate the birth of Jesus at Christmas time, eager for the joy and hope that belongs to this season. For long ago, in that faraway land, his message of love and peace and goodwill to all people spoke to those who had ears to hear and hearts to receive, just as it continues to speak to us today.
Give it up for these people right here. Thank you. Wow, everybody. Yeah. Woo! Great job, choir. Awesome. Living you sound so good. So good. Great job, everybody. Awesome job. Great job. We have one more carol to sing together. Please rise in body or in spirit. Let's sing Here We Come a-Caroling.
And to you that Christmas too, and
people delight in your children and to see in your child a spark of the divine, the same one that you see. So please, as you go today, let parents and children know that you see that spark and you appreciate it and love it. It is a blessing to raise children in a community. So as we extinguish our chalice, or in our hearts, or on the screen, may we each resolve to hold the baby this Christmas season, something that is tender, that needs our tenderness, our nurturing, something that is precious that we need to care for. May peace, love, and goodwill go with all of us. This baby belongs to us all. Go in love, go in peace. Merry Christmas.